Hey guys, welcome back to Hardstyle FL Studio Tutorials. Today we're going to be showing you how to make a melody and lead out of nothing. Well actually, can't really say nothing because I have to use Silent. For my leads, I recommend using Silent. It's really the best plugin for Hardstyle, but you can also use Serum or Massive. I think I've heard of a lot of artists that use those, but my preference personally is Silent just because it's easy use, and it's really, to be honest, the only synth I'm quite familiar with, or at least familiar enough to teach. So let's get right into this. I'm going to bring in a melody, actually. I'm going to show you how I make my melodies. And to be honest, this is really how I do everything. Like, this is the secret. Unless you're like, this is for the person who's as lazy as I am, but to be 100% honest with you, you probably shouldn't do it this way. But, you know, this is what works for me, so it might work for you too. Here we go, let's hear it. Let's see how this sounds. I don't want to use that. This one I think is good. Yeah, this is good. Everybody's heard Into the Madness. This is what I do. Personally, I try to find a melody that someone else has made, or copy a melody. It could even be like a Martin Garrix melody for all I care. Like, it doesn't have to be a hardstyle melody, but as long as it has these chords can really help get the creative flow going. And what I typically like to do is not necessarily steal them, but like artistically get inspiration from them. That's what I'm trying to say. So for example, here we have a chord. We have another chord. See, that's basically. Actually, I think it really, to be honest, the only chords we really need are right here. We have this one. Yeah, those are all the chords we need right there. Let's literally just delete everything else. So I can just take this stuff and get rid of this. So delete all this, delete all this. So this is what we should be left with. Alright, cool. Stretch these out so that they fit. This doesn't really fit perfectly on this line. You want to have everything fit right on the line when you're making your melody, and then you can change it up later once your melody's finished. Oh great, Fraps' thing is in the way. I can't minimize. Let's see. I'm not gonna maximize that. Actually, I'm not gonna detach this. That way, it'll. There we go. Now it fits. All right. The first thing we want to do is work on the lead. This is gonna be our chord lead. Which, when I make my chord leads, typically what I like to do is use a supersaw. Which, if you guys don't know how to make a supersaw, you essentially just take it up to like 8 voices and make it super detuned. So there. Sounds pretty good, I guess. It's just like kind of EQ this, chorus, compress. Alright, now let's mix it. So for mixing, I like to use Arts Acoustic Reverb. Let's make the room design a little bit. Yeah, right there should be fine. Decay. You don't want to decay too much. Maybe like a tiny bit, like 4 milliseconds. You want the wet to be turned down. What does it sound like? Okay, sorry, I had to edit that. And here's how you make it so that you don't have to copy Kun exactly, just change the notes like that. There we go, perfect. Now we have our own melody that we just literally stripped from another hardstyle artist. Alright, let's finish mixing. So you delay. What do you do with delay? Let's make it sound like, set this to like 4 steps. And 8 steps. Actually, 4 steps should be fine. No, maybe 6 steps. The most important, obviously, your parametric equalizer. You know, you want to low cut this. This is what a low cut looks like if you don't know. Around 200 hertz, maybe 160 hertz, 170 hertz. We'll go 180. Bring the highs down. Alright. Let's think of like a kind of cool pattern we can make out of this. I don't know why my mouse does that. We don't want to copy Kun exactly. This is like copying the entire song. For your first bar and your third bar, which would be this and this, you want those to be the same, but I like to change up my my second and my fourth bars, just so they kind of have some variation. So I'm actually going to delete these and think of some other pattern for them. Maybe something like this. And then I'll do the same thing for this. This will be better once we actually add our top lead in. Alright, now is the point in time where I typically recommend bringing the note lengths down. It's like this. I feel like we do need more highs here. Maybe something like this. Maybe a little distortion. I don't know, it sounds a little bit muddy right now. The lead does. Where's my... okay. Is this EQ'd properly? I don't know. It should be fine. Maybe I'm just using too many voices. I'll turn this down to like 5 or something. It's fine, don't distort this. I don't know why I did that. Okay. This is the part where you start making your top lead, which a top lead, I can't stress this enough. If you're making a top lead, don't go crazy with voices. Like, for your chord lead, yeah, it's fine. And if you want a bunch of voices with your chord lead, go ahead. But right here, you wanna just go with like a square. Like, honestly, one voice, one square, done. You know, just like a simple, like that. Let's just make a little melody out of this. this even on key? Okay, D is used. I don't know if B is like... I don't think B is on key, but we'll try. That should be good. Let's actually focus on the top blade now. I know this sounds like a Code Black lead, like it really does, but I guess it's kind of inspired. This is something else I like to do. I like to put my my top lead on a different track. Like for example, my chord lead right here is on track 1. My top lead is on track 2. And the reason I do that is because I want to copy track 1. I want to put, like, literally just save the exact thing here onto track 2. That way I can lower the volume if needed. So for example, right now I think the chord lead is very loud compared to the top lead, and you want the top lead to stand out the most. So, you know, just try to turn the volume up on track 2, or turn the volume up on your top lead so it's louder. Better. We're gonna add another lead, another top lead. You should have at least, well, I usually use 4 top leads, but you don't have to have that many. You could just use 2 top leads. I've seen artists use like 3 before, I can get away with it, but I like to use a lot. It's because I like the sound it makes. But a lot of people say not to do that because it creates a lot of frequencies that you don't want. So it's up to you really what you do. Let's add another lead. This one will be like a saw lead, I guess. I want this, this is too quiet, like, or not too quiet, it's too low. I don't want this anymore. This oscillator's bad. I don't want it to be low like that. You want it to be high, because hardstyle, especially euphoric, which is usually the style I like to work with, is higher and happier, you know. Plus it creates a lot of bass frequencies that are being cut, and then it makes them become mid frequencies, which just kind of interrupt all the other frequencies. So it just generally sounds bad to have those low frequencies in your top lead. So hopefully this sounds better. Alright. Start making some more leads. Literally just copy this lead and bring it to the next. Pitch, maybe. Really should be good. Let's hear how it all sounds together. Last but not least, we need our final melody layer, which would be the bass, obviously. We take our bass leads from the chord lead and just copy them, and then we're going to paste them down here. And then for the bass, we'll just make it like... We want it to be a sawtooth lead. Put this on track 3, by the way, because we don't want it to cut off. That. Let's cut it off a little bit. Bring this release up a little bit. Alright, that's good. For our mixer, we want this to be all mono. We want it to be loud. We want it to stand out, kind of. So let's just listen to it all together and hope that we can mix this properly. Alright, another thing I like to do, one last thing. I like to kind of, I like to grab FL Studio's general purpose mastering filter, not filter, preset. It just kind of makes everything louder, and it makes it stand out a little more. Okay. This is only 4 bars. If you want, you can make it kind of go out to 9 bars. Not 9, 8 bars. Sorry. I'm exhausted, to be honest. I shouldn't even be making this tutorial. I'm gonna make it 9 bars, so let's just edit this a little bit. Chord lead stays the same mostly throughout the whole thing, so no need to edit that. However, I would like to edit... Oh, wait a second. Let's bring this bass over too. It's pretty much going to be the same thing, just the notes change, so let's listen to this. I'm going to just focus on this first top layer. First 2 bars should be somewhat the same. F sharp. I don't know if that's on key. It looks like it is not. F is on key. How's this sound? we'll just copy this, and we're going to replace all of these with that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm hitting Control A, delete, and then Control V to paste what we just copied. And altogether, it sounds like this. That sounds just like a Headhunter's melody. Wow, I just realized that. Thank you, Kun, for the chords. And it turns out sounding like Headhunters. I'm going to cut the bass. I'm going to put the bass on a new layer. Because we want to separate the bass and the mix. Because you don't want bass at the same time as you have kicks. I'm not going to add kicks here, but this is a melody. I'm going to come back to this in another tutorial, and we'll work on this. But for now, here you go. This is your tutorial. This is what the aftermath sounds like. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.